Today's episode, AirBnB, we're going to get into one of their practices that really gives you a bum steer. Let's take a look at it. Episode 3, correctly counted. We've got their practice of handling reviews. Now, it may look to a lot of people like, well, there's not that much that can be done with reviews, but they have a system that falsely pictures their properties, and it does so by eliminating the negative reviews. Now, if you ever go there and try to leave a review, you'll see that there is no clear demarcation of what the rules are for, well, what can you say, what can you not say? And so you pretty much feel, hey, they imply that there is no selection, that all reviews are published, that they're wide open. But that's just not the case. And what they do, if you give a negative review of a property, especially if you itemize it and put in factual details and things like that, what they do is they send you a notice back with no justifying or underpinning factual basis that says that your review violated rules, but they don't say how or which rules, and therefore your review will not be posted. Can you believe that? Yes, that practice they engage in, and that is why you cannot believe or go by all of the positive reviews of a property. They are bogus. Not all of them are bogus, but the numerical positive to negative is off kilter by their deleting the negative reviews under the guise of, oh, they must have violated a rule. What rule? Well, we're not going to tell you, but boy, it was an important one. It got you deleted. And of course, some people might say, well, why didn't you just send it back to me and say your review violates Rule 2A and 7B, and I'll rewrite it? Because they don't want you rewriting it. They don't want to publish your negative review. They are not playing fair. Why don't they publish the review and just allow the owner or renter or whatever you would call the person to respond? That would be fair. They don't play fair. They really are doing everything they can to sell smoke, to take properties that I wouldn't let my dog stay in. You know, I talked a bit about this property by Liam in Ukaipa, and I realize now that what it is it's a converted garage. It's a converted garage. He's renting you out a bed in his converted garage. I'm not an expert, but I would say the approximate rental value of that property would be about $30 a night. Now, here's a question. If it's true, does his lead on let the renter know that that's what they're getting? And, why would that be important? Well, that would be extremely important because garages, as opposed to structures that people actually live in, have different soundproofing and different requirements for how they're built as to keep the person inside safe from rain, insects, and things like that. And that would explain, well, did the door not fit the door jamb? Why could I see outside and see the street and see people walking by? Not clearly. It was just a sliver. But I don't want to see people outside when I'm staying inside and paying over $120 a night to stay there. Why should I see outside? Why should they be allowed to see inside? And of course, as I've mentioned, I have one of those cameras that I use for my teeth and things like that, that's on a little pole and it's got a little camera at the end. Anybody could stick that right in between the spaces of the door and the door jamb and look and watch whatever is going on in that property. So if you don't want your activities with your significant other or by yourself, you better stay away until he fixes that door and makes it, what is the word for proof of seeing? Not soundproof, sound and vision proof. Okay. Well, so we're back to what is their policy. Now, I mentioned they have one policy, which is to get rid of you, and that is every time you call in to talk about your complaint, they put you on to a new person from a new country, not always from a new country, and the person sits there and has no idea what you're talking about. So no matter how many times you've called and gone over it, each time you call, what? When did this occur? So they make you start over again. And they're hoping, of course, to discourage you and make you go away. And then when you're done, before they'll do anything for you, they immediately say, well, I'm not in a position to do anything. This is done by our B714 team, just to make up a reference number. And they say, we'll have them call you back within the next 24 hours. They never call back within 24 hours. It's usually 3 days, and they usually just leave a message saying, we've looked into it, we can't help you. Go take a hike. So that's their system for not only avoiding taking responsibility, and that means giving you your money back, for crappy service, lousy accommodations. But that is also goes along with their phony invitation to you where they say, look at all these positive reviews. Well, of course they're all positive reviews because you've deleted all the negative ones and left no trail at all. It's not like they say, now there was 16 negative reviews, but because they violated the rules, we deleted them. There is no trail of that at all. And that gives you a phony picture that this property is without negative comment, and it's just not true. This is a very short episode. We'll have another one in 1 week on the dot, next Monday. But until then, my advice is don't go through Airbnb. Go anywhere else. And if you have a story of staying in Airbnb, as long as you don't work for them, and as long as you are not a renter from Airbnb or have any financial interest with them, because we're not interested in hearing from you, please write your story down below. Positive, negative, good, bad, otherwise, just insightful, comment on somebody else's story, anything you want. Just put a little note down below. Remember, subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, and we'll see you next week.